Hello and welcome to the final race of the round of 12. Ryan Blaney is starting on the pole, lineups rolling by on your right, but Blaney needs a good run. He's 8th in points coming into this show, and he's got a chance to really pad his margin or even lock himself in. A few guys in the field that need some good runs. This will be a 28-lap race, 6-lap first stage, 9-lap second stage. They should be about the same after the caution. Blaney will bring them down to the green here, racing with Kyle Busch on his outside. Martin Truex Jr. does not get a good start. That'll give Matt Kenseth, who started in 4th, the edge to start off in 3rd through that first corner, no challengers. The lead duo, however, are racing really hard. Blaney trying to get himself through and get himself clear of the 18 car. Kyle Busch has actually got a nose ahead, even gets clear, but Blaney makes the run off the top. Blaney's got Matt Kenseth behind him, and Matt Kenseth's looking to get to the lead of the Roval race here. Even though he's never he might have raced at this racetrack, I'm not sure, but he's looking very good early on here. Blaney's going to try and finally have a chance to get clear her coming up onto the banked part of the racetrack, and he can do that because when they head into the chicane, Blaney will have to get the spot because Busch really can't challenge on the top. So Busch slots in the line and settles into 2nd, headed towards the chicane. Looking back at Kevin Harvick here, who comes into this race 5 points under the cut line in 12th. He's strung together 2 straight DNFs, 36th, in both of the races this round. He needs at least a top 5 or so to make sure that he has a good chance of getting into the next round, and he's doing it right now, running 6th. Kurt Busch comes into this race +1 after a bad finish at Talladega and some poor strategy in Vegas. He's got a chance. Matt DiBenedetto, he's +10, but he needs to pick up, both of them need to pick up their running positions. They're running 17th and 18th. Not quite good enough to get through to the next round. Blaney continues to lead on the last lap of the stage. He's pulled a healthy margin back to the 18, or well, Denny Hamlin has moved into 2nd at this point, but Blaney comes through the final chicane at the Charlotte Roval, and he'll take stage 1. Some good points, and that honestly puts him in a position where he's more or less can ride for the rest of the race. He can finish 10th or so and still be no threat of getting knocked out of the round. Ryan Blaney brings him down to the restart. No pit stops because everyone's going to have enough fuel. Unless they want to come get tires, there won't be any stops. Denny Hamlin's going to already be looking for the lead. Did not waste any time. We saw Kyle Busch struggle on the outside here through this double apex corner. But Hamlin's actually up into that paint and hanging there, and he'll get a little bit of a run down the straightaway. Kyle Busch hanging back there. They're racing for 4th between Truex and Kenseth, and Hamlin gets to the lead. Move that 11 car, who's won 3 of the last 4, to the lead. He can be dangerous if you let him get away, and he's already put a 2nd gap in just 1 lap on Ryan Blaney. No way Blaney can challenge a car that fast, and Hamlin just keeps driving away. We'll look back to a couple of Penske cars, one Penske affiliated car here, Matt DiBenedetto, and Joey Logano, who is running 19th. He's more or less locked in with a 37-point buffer, but not good to see the 22 car struggling this much when his teammates are both in the top 10, and Blaney has led laps today. But the 22 will move on to the next round unless something drastic happens. Denny Hamlin will come through to take stage 2 with no real challengers. And eventually, here comes Ryan Blaney, almost 8 seconds behind of Denny Hamlin in as many laps. Hamlin has absolutely dominated the stage and drove away from Blaney. So we'll go to the final stage. This will be 11 green flag laps if it goes green. Blaney in 2nd, Busch in 3rd, Truex, then Kenseth. Alex Bowman back there has started poorly, but he's running some of the best laps. Not quite as good as Denny Hamlin, but certainly the 2nd best car on the racetrack is that 88 car. Could be an upset because he's not in the playoffs. Could steal away a win if Hamlin has trouble. Racing with Kenseth here and Kevin Harvick. Denny Hamlin already pulling out a lead though. No one seems to be able to challenge that 11 car, and as we come to 10 to go, he's got over a 2nd lead already. Looking back to Kurt Busch, we'll take a look at the live points. Busch 9 points out after coming in +1. Kevin Harvick hanging on to a 4-point advantage, and Almirola, DiBenedetto, and Eric Jones all in trouble. Blaney, after having the great stage 1 and continuing to have a good day, he sits +24 as they run. Speaking of Blaney, here he is running second. Kyle Busch there, hanging in, trying to make a move, but really struggling to get enough of a run to pass the 12 car. Blaney continues to run second, and that will be good enough to move on to the next round. So, all is well for him, but Tanner Berryhill in the 97, someone who hasn't run many races in real life this year, gets together with one of the Rick Ware cars and goes around, and that will bring out a caution that will set up some strategy. Could guys try and pit and use 4 tires to their advantage, or will everyone stay out? Well, as it turns out, no one pitted that caution. Denny Hamlin will retain the lead, but it gives Ryan Blaney one last shot at that 11 car. Or perhaps if we get another restart, he can set up a pass there. Or we could see Alex Bowman come to the front as he continues to charge forward, moving to 4th past Martin Truex Jr. on this restart. Bowman's the best car in the field other than the 11, so if he can get to 2nd and get a caution, he could have a chance to win the race. Denny Hamlin continues to lead though, Blaney hanging tougher this time around than last time though. Hamlin after a few laps though, still Blaney's not there, almost 2 seconds back. The 88 car moves to 4th and distances himself from 5th. But really, no one can challenge Denny Hamlin. He's looking for what would be his 4th win in the playoffs in only 6 races, and I really don't see any way it can change. Looking at the live points, Kevin Harvick still sits +5 over the cut line. He can finally rest easy, I think. I think he's not going to get passed by those guys behind him. They're not really that worried about them. He's not going to lose 5 spots at least, and he can sort of ride his way out and try and make it to the round of 8. Alex Bowman running some good lap times there, hanging tough, but really can't pass the 18 or the 12. Denny Hamlin would come to take the white flag and have no issues on the last lap. Coming out of oval turn 4 here into the chicane, Denny Hamlin, who's won now 4 of the last 6 races, absolutely dominates the Charlotte Roval, almost a second a lap quicker at some times. He wins, and Ryan Blaney will come through in 2nd here. Kyle Busch 3rd. Alex Bowman has a strong run in 4th, but not able to get it done. And Kevin Harvick, after 2 36th place finishes, falling back on those playoff points, he'll get through to the round of 8. Looking at Denny Hamlin, picks up his 9th win of the season. He's got 18 top 5s and 23 top 10s. Absolutely amazing stuff out of the 11 car so far this year. And in the playoffs, even better. 4 of the last 6 races, and I expect him to continue that streak. So we'll take a look at the points. No shock, the 11 car sits atop of it, winning 2 of the races this round, while no one else won a race in the playoffs. Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch safely there, and Kevin Harvick, almost an upset if you will, after coming into this race with so much trouble in the first 2 races, sneaks into the round of 8. Almirola, DiBenedetto, Busch, and Jones all fall out. Joe Gibbs Racing has 3 cars in the round of 8. They only lost Eric Jones so far. They're looking to be the strongest threat for the title. That'll be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next week for the start of the round of 8. Thanks for watching.